Hard times such as this send one into a state of looking for answers, for reasons, especially when one has faith. Faith that things happen for a reason, that there's a higher power. And times like this make it very difficult to find that reason. The bigger the negative impact, the harder it is to see where the positive is. My stance on this is one that I find fits to anybody, no matter their beliefs, which is we must find that good reason, simply because it's better for everyone in the world that we do. The bigger the strife, the bigger the change we need to make inside of ourselves and our lives based on these occurrences as wake-up calls, as accelerants of an existential view of who we are and what we're doing on this planet. That is to say, you have to take these really negative signs, which are more than signs, which are the destruction of an entire person that you know, as a wake-up call. Because our local scale, our local capability to fathom all the suffering and negative stuff that happens is so low. We're all kind enough and good people to see local things that happen, local injustices, and to be outstanding members of society and to stand up to that. It's very difficult to be a part of helping to solve the invisible atrocities worldwide. Invisible to us, invisible to our emotions and our hearts, only existing within our mind and our understanding of the world. But yet, these emotional battles that we have can hopefully push us and call us towards that higher sense of purpose. And it may never be emotionally understood as something that is necessary to get one to that state. But it's, in my personal belief, the best way to honor situations like this. Because I believe the greatest thing we can do with our lives is to imbue others with power. Power to go shape the world in healthy and stronger ways. And if I ever do pass, I hope that my own life is an empowerment to others, that I lead others towards a higher path, even as taking my final breath. That I'd be able to do that with the loss of my life to an even higher degree. And I think that the same thing goes with my uncle. It's a surreal thing. I haven't been home. I haven't felt the emotion to the degree that I even should. John already wasn't coming to as many of the events. I have not been home in Tucson. So it's already been a while since he has been alive in my life. And my brain hasn't fully collected the fact that I won't stand next to him or get to enjoy his cheese at the Super Bowl ever again. And when I say ever again, I mean that not as a blanket statement for eternity. Because I do believe that resurrection is something that's hard to fathom today in our human spirit. But that magic, something that comes with time. But until that time, when we bring our loved ones and ancestors back to life, when we live in a world with no more suffering, when all is beautiful beyond our capability to even think about now, there is deep amounts of needless suffering. There is corruption, there is evil, and there is more of a capability for us to fight that than we understand. So I take this as a calling to unify around that idea. Plotting, planning, and being true angels on this world as we were called to do since the moment we were born. You know, our brains are built for scarcity. We want comfort, security. I'm lucky to obtain that security from you guys, my family. And so I can be out there in the world like a free bird, owning no assets, always spending what I earn. The only disconnect here is the rapid acceleration of this existential view that I have because of my experience of the death of my ego. I attribute the reason why I am what I am to a spiritual experience. If I could say that I've ever met God, that would be where I'd say that it was. And I know that's just completely hard to wrap your head around. I'm self-aware of that. I wouldn't have known what I was saying prior to experiencing it. So just to the degree of conscious awareness of a differential between the experiences I've had and the experiences you have had, to say, hey, we're different. But I know internally, I know at our core, I know at the beautiful parts of our souls, we are the same. And where that sameness stands is a full loving devotion towards that highest calling of ourselves. And so I ask we take all of this energy, this passing, and we don't let it go in vain. As we're built for scarcity and we understand that the final resting spot for all of us is a place with no more suffering, with no more evil, then we must realize the destruction of evil, the push towards that inevitable path for humanity, as the only place to focus our own self in the accumulation of that resource. An angel's top resource is good karma, is the destruction of evil. We have an ego. We must understand that. It wants to accumulate. It wants status. It wants to be better than others. When you aim that and align that, being better angels, allow you to do more good, I believe we can all become more beautiful souls. And when you think that way, in a way which I consider what one could call enlightened capitalism, the act and accumulation of good karma rather than dollar bills, then I truly believe you act differently than simply trying to do things yourself. But you recognize the problems are a part of a greater picture, that it takes more, that it takes people, that the empowerment of other people, that the shift of the words and the actions that you take on their lives to shift how much good that they do allows you to earn passive income of good karma. This is why I call it enlightened capitalism. It takes business ideals into the act of doing good. Because doing good is still somewhat of a chess game. It's like building a company to the degree that one person can create lots of profit or good, and another, well, the company may never get off the ground. We are blessed with beautiful minds, a beautiful network with a beautiful support system. I am blessed with that. I am a part of that. You all have given me that. It's only in certain times, even during right now, while I'm speaking about this, that I can truly fathom how blessed I am to have that. As I'm exploring the world and meeting new people, new cultures, new dynamics, it makes me truly realize what a chest of invaluable, priceless gold that really is. And in the same way that I believe that the greatest act we can have is the accumulation of as much good karma as possible, if then I am ever to be sacrificed to take my life or to allow it to happen, like Jesus on a cross, then the greatest thing that act could do is empower others to be their highest selves, because that would be one act that allows me to accumulate all of this good karma, of my influence on the change of the world. It's not about what we do, it's about what we impact. And the message of this then is to say, do not let my Uncle John's death go in vain. Rise up. Allow the impact of the loss of his life to make you better. In honor of him. And in honor to show that the impact that he had at his last breath was the betterment of you and the world at large. And now all things that you do to make the world so much better gets eternally attributed back to him, back to the sacrifice that he has taken within your life. If this happened for a good reason, then it is no other than a sacrifice to give you the calling that you need to truly rise up, to truly look at your life and say, where can I be more and better? And I know that together, us having that mindset can make us not the best at board games on a table between us, which don't change any of the world, but it will allow us to be true angels on the planet. We have an insane amount of brain power within our family unit. We have an insane amount of love. We have an insane amount of willingness to support each other. And I believe that my uncle passing, our family member, could be something that we at least attempt to turn to a benefit for the world, at least in the name of honoring John. Thank you.